Hey guys, Disallow Magic here, and I finally did it. I built an assassin deck for the top net deck. This deck is designed to beat the energy-based Aetherworks Marvel decks, and boy does it. I have a 100% win rate against that deck online. Yes, I did jump on X-Mage with a fake username and try to suffer through that hell. And when people weren't stalling out the game and being petty little jerks, I actually got some games in, and this won 9-9. I lost 0 games with this, so I guess it's safe to say it works. It is kind of slow though, but this is your traditional stall and steamroll deck, which is originally a real-time strategy game strategy, where you just build defenses, stop everything, shut down your opponent, and then build up something that you can just steamroll them with, except usually it's like a large mass of units above your base. So this is a little different. This is, it's more like a hold and punch deck, which I believe I've built those before. It just tries to win the game with one card, basically. And a lot of people have done this. They've done it with Oblivion Sower and Torrential Gearhulk, and it actually works. It's just a bunch of counter spells and control, and then like one card, and then they can protect it. So chances are you get 1 or 2 creatures out, and that's all you need. So yeah, it's a fun deck. It is really fun. It is absolutely no fun to play against whatsoever, though. So let's see. We got swamps. We got islands. Way too many of them, in my opinion, but there's not... Well, there actually is triple fixing. I just don't like fetid pools because they automatically come in tapped. That's not so good for this deck because you kind of need 5 mana when you need it, and you kind of need 6 mana when you need it. But if you're having troubles with it, because, you know, there is some double black and some double blue in here, quite a bit actually. It's actually triple blue. You could throw in the other 2 fetid pools. I was just trying to keep the cost down and keep the speed up. Then we got 4 choked Estuary, of course. Very simple. All you have to do is reveal a swamp or island from your hand, and it comes in untapped. These are swamps and islands, these Sunken Hollows. Also, these come in tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So you basically don't even need this on turn 2, and if you do, you could probably play it on turn 1. There's very few circumstances where this would be a turn 2 drop. And then you'd like miss a turn, but honestly, there's not that many turn 2 cards in here. So then we got the islands, we got the fetid pools. Cycling is cool, otherwise these are garbage. I don't know why they're so expensive right now. It must be like a modern thing or something. Then we got exactly 3 negates. Yeah, they're situational, but it seems like nobody is playing straight creatures. Even people appearing to play straight creatures are running like red boost or something. So this will have a place. If you find that it's not very useful, I would swap it out with Insidious Will, because that card is insane. But then again, that's like, the only good thing about that is a redirector, and then I guess a cloner, which cloning something in this deck would be kind of pointless, but it would be fun. I mean, you basically don't have to pay for anything in this deck eventually anyway, so welcome to As Foretold. Then we got 2 Fretwork Colonies. These are so overlooked, it is unbelievable, especially considering that they're from Kaladesh. Oh my god. So it's a 1/1 for 2. It can't block, which is just devastatingly stupid. I hate that. But at the beginning of your upkeep, put a 1/1 counter on it automatically, excuse me, and lose 1 life. So turn 2, you bring it out. It swings for 2 the next turn, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and I believe at that point you've probably won the game. So it's that devastating. Now, you're losing life, and this deck has almost no way to gain life, but the chances of you getting hit like to 10 is very low by the opponent's creatures. So you're usually safe. In case of an emergency, you can stop this with a kill spell if you really needed. You could just put in 4 Gifted Aetherborn, because that's just going more in the right direction, but double black on turn 2 is pretty hard. I mean, even in this deck, you're going to get a little bit island flooded once in a while. There are 6 of them, so it's on the radar. Just have it be on your radar. But yeah, Gifted Aetherborn, 2/3 with Death Touch and Lifelink for 2. Hell yeah, I mean, that can stop anything. It can swing past a 0/13 tree. I mean, this thing is just absolutely absurd. I love it. Then we got 4 Anticipates. Very important because of the cost. I needed more 2 costs, and I needed more card draw, and I needed more getting the cards I don't need out of the way. So automatic include. I wanted Glimmer because it's better, but I don't know. Too slow, too low. Then we got 3 Murderous Compulsions. Not a lot of people play this. I really don't know why. Besides the Madness cost being really good, if there's a creature on the battlefield and it's not attacking you, do you really care with this deck specifically? No. I mean, maybe like Dragon Master Outcast. I can't think of a whole lot else. I don't know. It's just not there. I just needed a faster kill spell because people were shredding me with fast decks, especially if they go first. So they drop their third mana and they're swinging with like a haster plus 2 boost spells, and it's like, okay, I gotta kill this thing. Unfortunately, that's actually a really bad scenario. This is a sorcery. I keep forgetting that. But once they've swung, it's gone. So the damage is done. They did like 7 damage. Okay, whatever. But then their creature's gone, and they emptied their hand. So then you can negate the rest of their crap. So then we got As Foretold. It technically doesn't fit in the deck, but it technically does. It's like automatic free mana late game. So if you bring this out on turn 3, you're probably going to win the game unless they can destroy it. And I guarantee they can't. So if you're not familiar with how it works, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on As Foretold. Once each turn, both your turn and your opponent's turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of time counters in As Foretold. So it's an improved version of what is that Aether Vial or whatever. Aether Vial is faster, but this is way more flexible, way better late game. So next up we've got Disallow. That really kills the price of this deck, but oh well, what can you do? I mean, the deck's probably grand total about $45-ish, maybe 40. I mean, that's reasonable. I didn't put Fatal Push in there because this deck goes to like turn 20, so Fatal Push isn't going to do you a damn thing. Also, you can't control anything leaving the battlefield at all. So, not a good card. It's not a good card in general unless you're playing a like win on turn 6 deck, like something super fast. The same with Censor. Censor isn't going to do you a damn thing past about turn, 5? But before turn 5 is devastating. It is perfect. Like, oh, they just dropped their 4th mana and they're trying to bring on a Planeswalker. Bye-bye. So, really good card for 2, but, Negate's almost as good. But yeah, Disallow is huge because you can stop a Planeswalker ultimate with this. I know, because somebody did it to me. It can stop just about anything. I mean, this is absolutely insane what this thing can do. It counters anything. I don't love the double blue, but, double blue on a 3 cost is pretty much what blue does for counter spells, so you won't find many alternatives. Next up, Imprisoned in the Moon, another kind of underrated card. Anybody who plays this knows that it's got the same problem as Path to Exile, but with this volume of control, I don't think giving them another land is the end of the world, trust me. And plus, I've hit Planeswalkers with this. So you enchant creature, land, or Planeswalker. Enchanted Permanent is a colorless land with add colorless mana to your pool, tap, and loses all other card types and abilities. Now, just for the record, if they were to destroy this, it resumes being what it was before, and a Planeswalker turned into a, moon ornament will actually maintain its current level of loyalty counters. I did not think that's how non-counter counters work, but apparently it is. So FYI. But yeah, this is like, okay, they got something out, I get it, and it's not killable. It's a really detrimental land like Aether Hub, or it's a Planeswalker. Pretty much just, they got out a Planeswalker and they dodged my Negate, or Disallow, because that's it. That's all that can stop it. And then Murder can't kill it. Murderous Impulse can't kill it. And I didn't feel like putting in the other one, the 3 cost. Murder being a instant is just better. But if you really wanted, you could put in Never Return. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So yeah, it's just good. Next up, I wanted to put in the most powerful creatures that are either immediately a giant threat to them losing the game by themselves in a vacuum, or they build up over time. So Fretwork Colony, obviously. Gifted Aetherborn, that's just in there because I need life and it's a Death Toucher. I mean, whatever. But the rest, Drana, every time she hits, put a 1/1 counter on not just her, but everybody attacking. Or him, I keep forgetting. I think it's a her. I don't remember. I don't care. Let's see. So Flying First Strike, 2/3. And then, like I said, whenever it hits, put a 1/1 counter on everybody. You guys know the timing trick. She has First Strike. So, she'll hit, she did damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on everybody, then do main strike phase or whatever. So if you swing with 2 creatures, that other creature is going to be 1 larger by the time damage actually resolves fully. So don't forget that. So there's only 3 because, legendary, and honestly, you only need about 10 creatures in this deck. That's just all it needs. So there you go. Now, half the time you can cast her for free with As Foretold. So As Foretold is actually the most powerful mana fixing in the deck. Also, you can just tap completely out on some of the more expensive stuff, and you're good because, you got a counterspell for free. Next up, Murder. Just love it. Just destroy target creature. Double black, hate that. But whatever. I think Never Return is the same, but that's a sorcery. This is an instant. That one takes out a Planeswalker, but so does Imprisoned. If you're really going up against Planeswalkers, honestly, you could put Never Return in the sideboard and maybe take out Murderous Compulsion. I should read the damn card. Next up, we got Jace. I love him. He's so perfect because he's a card draw engine. So he's redundant with Anticipate. You can see there's like 2 kill spells, 2 counter spells, 1 removal, 2 card draw, and 3 sets of creatures, sort of, because I consider Gifted and Fretwork to be kind of the same caliber. So the whole deck's redundant, very consistent. I love it. But Jace has +1, scry 1 first, then draw 1. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Then -2, return target creature to its owner's hand. Not so good with Enter the Battlefield effect, but anything with counters, anything you can't deal with, a hexproof, well, no, hexproof creature is still screwed. Good thing there's like 2 of those in standard right now. But then his -8, oh my god. You get an emblem with whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell on each turn, counter that spell. The game's over at that point, okay? You're already at 5 mana. Trust me, the game's over. They cannot cast anything for the rest of the game. And if they just hoard spells, so are you. And you'll have a counter spell for every spell that they're holding. I guarantee it. Either that or a removal spell. So next up, the man himself, Sphinx of Magosi. Love this card. Absolutely freaking love this card. I own about 20 copies of this card. Actually, I think 22 last time we counted. Oh, and then I got 3 in a deck, so yeah. So he's flying. He's a 6/6 for 6, triple blue, but if you don't have it at that point, what the hell? And you can pay 3 and draw a card and then put a 1/1 counter on him. So not only did you pick up something to defend him with, probably, or a kill spell to get a flyer out of the way, or another draw card, or a Jace, and at that point you could probably cast it for free with As Foretold. I've even cast the Sphinx for free with As Foretold, and mind you, As Foretold is not legendary, so it's not unusual to get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them out in a game. I mean, there's a lot of card draw and scry in here. So this guy, he can swing and they'll be like, oh, I'll let it through, and they don't even read the card because nobody knows what this damn thing does because it's from like the M16 welcome deck. That's what everybody nicknamed it. Yeah, and you just, 1, 2, oh, look, he's an 8/8, you're dead. People are seriously that stupid. Even online, they're too stupid and too lazy to read the card. So, in the sideboard, we got Dispossess because, why not? Aetherworks Marvel. I can't remove it with Imprisoned in the Moon, so it's like I'd have to catch it with Negate or Disallow, and they're probably not going to try to get it out until one's not in my hand. So the counterspells are a little bit narrow. You could ditch Anticipate and put in another cheap counterspell. Maybe Essence Scatter or something, I don't know, but I really like Anticipate. It really gets you out of like a situation, and As Foretold can cast it for free. So yeah, I mean, unless you're going to pull another 2-cost counterspell, and Censor is garbage in this deck, I don't know. So Dispossess, it's just good. I mean, you could get rid of a Torrential Gearhulk as well. I guess if anybody's running Dynavolt Tower still, you could get rid of that. I don't know who would be doing that. Flaying Tendrils is just for zombies. Zombie tokens, -2, -2. If a creature would die this turn, exile it. So all their regenerators and all that crap, nope. I think they have some death preventers, some death replacement effects, and I think they can choose the order that they go off. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, it's worth putting in, trust me. This is, you would just replace the point kills with the board kills. Real simple. Then we got Unburden. This is just in here because I thought it was funny. It's a improved version of Mind Rot, and it has cycling in case you really don't care what's in their hand. Or they have so few cards in hand, you just are like, whatever. Target player discards 2 cards. It's just good. I mean, if somebody's running red, white, blue draw, which some people at my LGS still are, this will destroy them. This will ruin all their options, and whatever they have left in their hand after this, you will have a counterspell for. Then we got Select for Inspection. It is solely for Ulamog if they get Ulamog out. And the only way they're going to do that is Marvel. So this kind of goes with Dispossess, and Flaying, I should probably replace Unburden with, like, Yahendi's Expertise or, like, another sweeper. And the funny thing is, Flaying will not kill Gifted. It probably won't kill Fretwork. It absolutely won't kill the Sphinx. And it won't kill Drana. So going to a -3 sweeper is a little bit much, but you really don't want to lose to zombies, trust me. If there's a better anti-zombie card out there in blue or black, let me know. I think maybe like Whelming Wave would be pretty good, or Engulf the Shore, whichever one of the two of those is still legal. I think Engulf. That one looks a little expensive though. Whelming Wave, you could cast it for like 1 and nuke their zombies, but I believe that's the not legal one, so whoops. But yeah, I mean, this is it. It does what it does. It's as simple as can be. So it looks like it won't win anything and it's really shaky and prone to failure. It's not. Watch for the gameplay. I'll post some just quick gameplay against the computer so you can see how much of a shutdown this is. So hopefully you guys can build this deck and beat everybody at your LGS with it, and I'll see you guys next video.